In today's video, we are going to break down why the Patriots will have the best linebacker core that they have had in multiple seasons. There's been very many additions, so there is a ton to talk about in today's video. Now we're breaking things down, and first off, let's just go over it. So first off, we have Hightower, who did not play last season, so that's going to be technically an addition versus last season. That was one of our opt-outs, the biggest one probably out of all of them. We have Kyle Van Noy coming back. He was a huge contributor to that 2019 defense, which was one of the best in NFL history, an absolute monster team. They utilized a blitz scheme called the Zero Blitz, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. Now, our next player we need to talk about is Ja'Whaun Bentley, and he's entering into his 4th season here with the New England Patriots. His 2020 season was the best of his career so far, where he had 91 combined tackles and 1.5 sacks. So he had a really good season last season, and I'm expecting more improvement, especially with those added linebackers around him. It's going to take away some of that attention from him and allow for him to get through some gaps, make some tackles, and just be around a better group overall. Now, our next linebacker is a new addition from the Ravens, Matthew Judon, and we've made a video about him a couple of days ago, so you can check that one out. I'm going to leave a little thing on the top right that you can click and check out that video. But to say the least, Matthew Judon is a solid player, and he is going to take one of those starting linebacker positions, surely. So that is going to kind of solidify our starting linebackers. Now, as far as depth goes, there's a lot to go around. First up is Josh Uche, and he was a rookie last season, and he did get some playing time. He really, really did. So we're going to have to see how his career begins to progress here. He was going into his rookie year last season. He did not have a preseason, which affected all rookies around the league. Last year, he had 9 combined tackles, 7 solo tackles, and he had 2 tackles for loss, including 1 sack, and he only played in 1 game there. So it was really interesting to see that he did get some playing time. Obviously, we expected a little bit more playing time out of him, but they slowly eased him into the system. But it was good to see him play, and he did show a lot of promise when he was on the field. So it's going to be interesting to see how they rotate these younger players that they drafted last season into the mix when they already have so many linebackers. But I'm sure they will get their fair share of playing time, and I expect to see a lot more from Josh Uche going into this season. Next up is Anfernee Jennings, and he was another rookie linebacker from last season, also picked in the middle of the draft, so very, very similar there to Josh Uche. The most interesting differences here between Josh Uche and Anfernee Jennings, as they were both rookies, is that Anfernee Jennings was picked later than Josh Uche was. Anfernee Jennings was picked in the 3rd round, 87th overall, but he had much more playing time last year. He started in 4 games. He had 20 combined tackles and 10 solo tackles, and then also 1 QB hit. So he actually does have a little bit of a better stat line than Josh Uche, but they're both very, very limited amounts of sample size that we've seen from these 2 players. So it's going to be very fun to watch these players next year, see how they come into the mix of things, because obviously the depth is going to be insane at the linebacker position. I'm wondering how much playing time they will actually get. I'm sure they're going to find a way to rotate them in, but I'm wondering if that sample size is even going to get much larger this season. All right, now our next player up on the list is a new addition, Rayquan McMillan, and this is a player from the Dolphins, and he was one of their starting linebackers last season, so I am curious how this player is going to pan out for us. The funny thing here is, obviously, I'm a Patriots fan, so I don't like the Dolphins very much. We brought on Kyle Van Noy. That's a funny story because he stole $51 million from them and then a 4th-round pick, and now he's back with us after 1 season. So the Patriots totally took advantage of this crazy situation and completely embarrassed the Dolphins. I mean, this is absolutely atrocious offseason moves that the Dolphins have made here with Kyle Van Noy, and the Patriots have just finessed them entirely, as they've pretty much done for the past, 21 years here. So it's been a long time, and this was one of the funnier moments here between the Patriots and the Dolphins rivalry. Now, this is a player that used to be on the Dolphins, and then he was with the Las Vegas Raiders for 1 season there. He's going to be 26 this season. He did play that inside linebacker position for them. But yeah, we got another linebacker that was on the Dolphins after 2 seasons, and he played really good with the Dolphins, not so good with the Las Vegas Raiders. They didn't really find a way to implement him in. He started 16 games his rookie season with the Dolphins, and then only 12 games the following season in 2019. Where he had, in his 2-year career in Miami, 177 combined tackles, 104 solo tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 0 sacks. So this came off of run plays and I guess passing plays as well. And then 2 forced fumbles. So he had a really good career with the Dolphins for 2 years there. Not such a good career there with the Las Vegas Raiders, where he only had 27 combined tackles. They didn't really find a way to play him. He only had 4 games that he started in there. So I don't think they utilized him correctly. So I am curious if we're going to get the Dolphins Rayquan McMillan or if we're going to get the Las Vegas Raiders version of him, because if we get the Dolphins version of him, it's going to be very interesting again to see how they play around with that depth, because we're just going to have like 5 or 6 starting caliber linebackers, which obviously I have no problem with. That's a very good problem to have. But this brings up another interesting note, okay? Is this Boogeymen version 2 here that we're talking about? Let me know in the comments what you think, if this is going to be another version of the Boogeymen that we had 2 years ago, if we're going to see anything similar to that. Because with this incredible depth that they're putting together at the linebacker position, I have to imagine they are going to try to utilize the zero blitz again, which was just an incredible scheme that we had going that year, alongside that defensive backfield. And really, if you think about it, we're just as good at the cornerback position, if not better, with the J.C. Jackson evolving into the player he is today. If we have J.C. Jackson and Stephon Gilmore still starting for the Patriots this season, and then we also have these new linebackers, watch out, because this is going to be an insane defense this year. There's more questions on the defensive line, I think, than the linebacker group or the defensive backs. The defensive line is going to be interesting. Obviously, we have Chase Winovich. We have some other younger players. Will they move some of these linebackers perhaps to a defensive end? Let me know in the comments if you think any of these linebackers that we have would fit well on the defensive line as a transition, or maybe just like a little bit of a altering of their position, because obviously some outside linebackers are nearly a defensive end. They play the same exact way, but obviously, we have Lawrence Guy coming back at defensive tackle. That's going to help this defense as well just be absolutely insane. I need to make a video about that because I made the James White video, and that's a very similar signing. These players want to come back to us. The culture is back to what it was back in the Brady days. Players want to be on the Patriots. They believe in what we're doing here, and they believe that this team is a team that is going to be a competitor moving forward. After those opt-outs, after all the players we lost, we've completely rebounded, and now we're going into a season with a lot of promise here. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. Please subscribe and like the video. I'm trying to grow this channel. If you like Patriots content, obviously subscribe, because I'm going to be bringing a ton more of it. But like and comment, because that's going to help that algorithm out and just help this video get out to more people as I'm trying to grow this channel. Also share it with anybody that might enjoy it. Another thing I want to mention is that I'm going to be taking video suggestions from you guys, so comment those down below if you're looking for something to comment. Any video ideas you might have or things you want me to make a video about, because I'm looking for more ideas moving forward. I have a lot of ideas in the short range, but I'm going to be looking for more moving forward in the coming weeks, as I'm going to have many more videos to make. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. It's been a lot of fun, and I will hopefully see you guys in the next video.